Well, it is the end of the season, the last two matches, and we get to have a run-in with one of our former favorite players of this save. Let's get into it, my dudes. Before we get into today's episode, why don't you go ahead and leave a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment down below. So, everything is looking good, my dudes. We have fought our way out of relegation. We're staying up this year, which is great news. Today's going to be a fun episode, though, because we're playing Mines, who, as we all know, Juan Pablo Sa plays there now. I believe he is healthy again, so he should be back in their side. Hopefully, we'll get to see him today. It would be really cool if we did. Looking at the results where we last left off, we played Augsburg last. We've looked, okay since then. Freiburg, we lost to them 1-2. It was a really close match. Had an opportunity to win it, but we didn't. Went out and played Bochum. Didn't look that name up, how to pronounce it. We beat them 5-2. We looked really good in this matchup. We gave up two late goals, or kind of late, 59th minute and 85th minute. Semedo had a hat trick in that match. Silva getting a goal, and the Dorf getting a goal as well. Then we went out and we played pretty defensive against Dortmund, but we wasn't able to hold them off. They beat us 3-1. Jovic getting the lone goal in that matchup. Today, though, we got Mines up first. It should be a really fun match. I'm excited to see see how he's developed a little bit. Kind of scouting him a little bit. I don't think he's better than what we have at the moment. A little bit of transfer news. We do have a future transfer. I don't want you to see that guy right there. Not clicking on him yet. Not doing it. Okay, so looking at, where is it? Future transfers. Andre Silva is leaving the club for 17.5. So that is good news. He wants to leave the club. We're bringing in a decent amount of money for him. We are reinvesting that money, as you can see, on a 17-year-old that I think it said that we can get him at a certain date. I'm not sure. We'll see when that transfer goes through. But yeah, it's going good. We're doing well. I have went ahead and picked the side for the match. We've got Vlad in goal, back four of Bercham, Okoli, Izert, and Diller. In the midfield, we got Sal and Devine. Right-hand side, we got Jovic. Left-hand side, we got the Dorf. Up top, we got Semedo and Silva. Let's get into it. Let's see if Sa is their starter. I'm interested. I'm excited to see him. Like, he was one of my favorites at Orlando City. They sold him after we left for, like, pretty cheap, I thought. So, okay, hands on the hips. Expect to see, well, hands in the pockets. Expect to see a much better performance from you today. As of right now, I don't really have a plan for the transfer window. Okay. Hey, that's not a bad start right there. First 5 minutes, we go up 1-0. Izert from the set piece, getting it in. But yeah, I really don't have an idea of what to expect in the transfer window, because I feel like we're going to have a lot of holes. So we'll see what becomes available. It's one of those kind of transfer windows that we're just going to sign the best players we can sign, because we really can use help in all the areas. It's not just one area that we need help, or two areas. It's pretty much everywhere. I feel comfortable with Vlad being our goalkeeper. It wouldn't be bad to bring in somebody underneath him, though. Sit there that's a little bit better than what we have. So we'll see how it goes. And that's not a real big concern for me, really. The goalkeeper is the one area that I'm not like going to be actively going for somebody. If we see somebody that's like 3-star player for under 5 million, then yeah, probably so. We'll probably go after that. But above that, probably not much, really. Bring in some loanies. I'm considering bringing in some of the guys that we brought in this time, seeing if we can see if they'll want to come back next year. Somebody like Bercham, Fabio, players that have kind of shined since they came into the club. Devine, I'm not 100% sure on, because I haven't been impressed with him yet. I know he's arguably one of our better players if you're just looking at star ratings, but sometimes them stars do be lying. The Dorf takes a shot here, can't find the back of the net. Okay. We got this. Sa is starting up top for Mines, by the way. I just remembered to look at that. I was considering not recording this episode today because I am a little bit further ahead, but I don't want to not record for a day because I feel like I was wasteful that day. So just recording the one episode tonight. I didn't turn on the lights. What are we doing? The very lackluster red lights, they're on now. Silva hit the dink. He also hit the top of the bar as well. Nice. Looking good, though. I'm ready to see what we're going to have with our transfer budget when that comes through at the end of this episode. Hopefully, we'll get to see that. If not, you know, that'll be in the next episode. I'm really looking forward to this transfer window because there's a lot of work to be done. I want to really beef up the squad a little bit, try to make us somewhat more competitive next year. Maybe try to get in Europe somehow. Not shooting for the Champions League, my dudes. Not shooting for that, but we could finish somewhere in that. If we could like finish kind of where we are right now, or to 7th, like I would be ecstatic with 7th place next year. Don't know if it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen because this is, as we know, is a rebuild squad. You know, and the good thing about it is the board, they're just expecting us to stay in the Bundesliga. So that is good news. The Dorf gets it in his 4th of the season. Jovic on the assist. The Dorf has looked good in the past couple matches. He may be somebody that we continue to use in the future. He is a 3-star player with 3-star potential, so he's not going to get a lot better. But if he's a player that we can use in a certain role, I'm happy about that because at this point we just need bodies. But hey, the match is going swimmingly right now. 2-0 going into the 65th minute. I'm not sure what we're going to do here to make changes because we don't have many options. I feel like Fabio can come on for somebody just because he's a decent player and he's sitting on our bench. But we did what we wanted to do when we got here. We really beefed up the defense. That's where this team was really struggling at. The attacking options, granted they want to leave the club and they are leaving the club. They was fine for this season. Next season though, that's where we're going to have to fight for that. And obviously we did bring in some help, but we hadn't seen him yet in Gil Ventura. I'm excited to see that kid because I think he can be a really good player for us as an advanced forward playing up top. But I feel like if we stick with that kid, we need to have a playmaking forward alongside him. So that might be something we look into. Not sure yet. We ain't got there yet though. The matches ain't even over. What are we talking about? Okay, so it is time to make a change. Jovic has not done anything. Diego's coming on. I like Diego. He's a pretty decent player. We're going to put him as an inverted winger on attack. And probably take out Sal for Fabio. I like that move. I think it's a decent move. Probably the last change we'll make is taking Diller off at left back. If the other guy, that I cannot think of his name, if he's healthy, he's been battling some injuries. The loanee that we brought in. What is his name? D'Alessandro. That's his name. I can't remember. Is he hurt? Is D'Alessandro hurt? Yeah, he's hurt. Okay, so what do we want to do here? We got one more change we can make. We're going to go with my strikerless formation here. Joao is coming in, going with a back 5. Why? Just see if we can hold on to the lead. Sitting 10th right now, so the results did not go our way to move up further in the league for this match, unfortunately. But that's fine. Everything's fine. 2-1. Robin Isaac was your best performer. Outstretched arms. Well done. That was a good win for us. Before we get into the matchup against Bremen, I do want to discuss a player with you that I have found. Got to look at his name here. I think that's it, ain't it? He is another striker. Scouted him from Mainz. Mainz is now officially relegated. I think that was actually relegated before the last match. But let's look him up here. Wrote his name down. Because as I've said before, my short list at this point is just really terrible. Mr. Dominic here. He's a 2.5-star player that they want 7.5 for. He's a 20-year-old German. But I really like this guy. Like, I think you get him and Gil Ventura as our two guys that can actually play up top for us on a regular basis. And you add in like an attacking playmaker, either number 10 or another playmaking forward alongside him with a two-striker formation, that these two guys would be really good. I mean, looking at him, his dribbling, his finishing, his free kick taking, his determination, his flair, his technique, he's got a lot of stuff going for him. And I'm really considering making an offer for him in the transfer window, which I haven't decided if I'm going to do tomorrow or if I'm going to start tonight and do kind of like a start it tonight and finish it tomorrow kind of deal, because the transfer windows just take so long to do. But yeah, after we get our transfer money, this may be a kid that I'm looking into bringing in. I know he's a 2.5-star player. I get that, but I think he's better than 2.5-star. I think he's one of those players, like if you bring him into the side, kind of like what we've done with Orlando City, when you bring him into the side and actually give him some game time, you're going to see that star rating shoot straight up. So that is something we're going to consider. But right now, we have something else to worry about. It is Bremen. We got Vlad in goal, back for a pass like Okoli, Isaac Diller. In the midfield, we got Tombari and a guy called Nipping that I just seen because his name popped up in the, hey, these guys are training really well. Leaf Nipping here. He looks solid as well for a player that's that hasn't been playing much. I mean, he's not fantastic, but this could be a guy that we can use next year. So I want to see what he can do. He's the 2.5-star player, 4-star prospect. Like I said, I like him. We're going to give him a shot and see if he can do pretty good out there in that deep line playmaker role that he wants to play. I don't think we can do anything really with the table at this point. We're just seeing where we actually finish. Apparently Bremen beat us the last time out. Hey, apparently we can get into the Conference League. That would be, I mean, obviously results have to go our way, and it seems like it's pretty far out there, but that's what I was kind of thinking when this episode started, that we would be could fight for the Conference League depending on how results win. Tom Barry, he gets his first of the season. We're 1-0 up in the 8th minute. I do believe he is going to be a player that we bring back on loan as well. I do like him. He seems like a really good player. So he may be somebody that we try to bring in next year again, depending on if whoever he's from, I can't remember. Is he the kid from Porto? Nope, definitely not. But yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. Apparently Nipping's doing good out there. He's got a 7.0 right now. Hey, go on, young fella. Look at us sitting in 8th place right now. Hertha is playing Bochum, which they should win that game. They're the much better side there, but hey, results do happen. Hopefully they'll happen in the right way. But the thing about it was like when we got here, that like from upper mid-table to relegation, it was so close. That was such a close thing. Like if you got on a decent run, you was just going to shoot up that table, and we did that. We did lose some matches, but not a terrible amount. We're looking good though. 1-0 against Bremen. They're sitting in 14th place right now. Hanover looks like they're going to be playing in the relegation playoffs. So if they go down as well, I'm going to scout their players. I've scouted all the rest of them. I didn't see anybody from Bochum I was really interested in. There was some players that I was interested in. It just depends on if we actually want to go after them. I looked at Saw, and guys, I hate to say it, I don't think he's going to make it for us. He's 2.5-star player, 3-star potential. And they want around the same amount of money as the other guy we just looked at, the Dominique guy. So I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. I was hoping that he would still have a little bit more potential, and it would make sense to bring him into the club, because I do like kind of reuniting with some of these guys. I did look into bringing Nicolas Martinez in earlier this season, and we just couldn't afford him. I mean, that was it. I mean, he was that good of a player. So I do kind of want to scout the Fluminense side, but I was thinking about it, and like, as far as like players that I just really liked on that side that I would want to carry with us after, Angelo Renan left, there wasn't just a ton of them that I really, really, really liked that I would want to carry with me to other clubs. So I don't know if that'll happen or not. We got to make a change though. What do we want to do here, guys? I'm gonna let you make the call. Not really. Jovic, Diego, we're making that change. We've made that change plenty of times. And Diego's gonna go as an inverted winger. I guess we'll play D'Alessandro since Diller is on a card. I mean, I'm okay with that. D'Alessandro has been injured a couple times this season. It's the last match. His loan's up. Probably not going to re-sign his loan. Was never overly impressed with the kid. He served a role, though. And what do we want to do here? We'll put Sal on for nipping because he picked up a card as well. I was impressed with nipping. Put out a really solid rating for us in this match. Put out a 7.1. So that is going to be a kid that we're going to look toward next year as well. Kind of being more of a role player, a squad guy. But we'll get some starts next year as well. Because I'm thinking like maybe our 3 being Tom Berry, if we can get him back on loan. Sal, and then the nipping kid. I think he's going to be a solid player. I'd like to bring in as more of an attacking midfielder as well. But don't know if it'll happen. 2-0 though. We've sealed the victory with that goal right there. Tambari getting the brace. Had a solid game for us. That's the end of the season, my dudes. We're excited about it. We are going to hang around for a little bit afterwards to see if the transfer budget is shown. But if it's not, what I'll end up doing is I'll cut after the press conference like I usually do. So let's get into that. We're going to outstretch the arms. Well done. That was a good win for us. Sounds good. All right, so let's see what we got here. Hopefully we got a transfer thing right here. If not, no big deal. Finished the season 8th. We didn't get it. But we did get something that's kind of interesting. Got some money. $69 million. Very, very nice stuff. See, they're saying the next season minimum will be 9.5. That ain't going to cut it. So we'll see. I think I'm actually going to do the transfer window episode, the start of it, right after this. From being a relegation side to working our way all the way up to 8th place, I think you can say our run here was very successful. Next episode, transfer special, transfer window, end of season review. You get it. All the fun stuff happens in the next episode. It's probably going to be a long episode is what I'm thinking because we got a lot of rebuilding to do, a lot of stuff to discuss, but I do think we have a little bit of a plan for the next episode. But if you enjoyed this episode, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment down below. And as always, my dudes, thank you for watching.